did you tell me you were from North Carolina then? I think you did. And I was kind of like, you lying. You from out of town? You getting bored?
I mean, nah, not really.
Don't play with me.
What up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube?
We back at y'all once again. This is the Wash Way.
The Wash Way, baby.
This is Joe, and this is my lovely wife, Dash.
Hey, y'all.
Back by popular demand.
I know, everybody's like, one of my close friends, she was like, her and her homegirl was like binge watching our videos, and they was like, homegirl was like, have they posted another video yet? Talk about, dang, I need to hear her post another video. So, we here, y'all.
So we've had quite a few requests on our next YouTube video, how me and my wife met.
Yes.
So we're gonna give y'all a rundown. Hopefully it's gonna be a quick rundown of how this love story started.
Yes. So we will start pretty much like what led us up to going to the particular place that we met. I'm gonna tell mine, Joseph will tell his, and then we will get into it. Joseph has his version, I have mine. But I mean, for the most part, you know, they're...
My version is the most accurate.
Okay, whatever. So, it was 2016, okay?
What month was it?
March 2016.
Okay, I'll make sure you remember.
Whatever. This is birthday month. Okay. So, during this time, y'all, I was like in a transition phase in my life. My homegirl, one of my real close friends, actually, she called me and she was like, hey, let's meet up. You know, like, what you got going on? She was like, well, let's go to lunch. I was like, okay, cool. So again, I'm in a transition phase. You know, I had been dealing with someone, and at that point, you know, me and the dude was still cool, but like my feelings was just like I was no feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like cool, like because I had been just through so much, and I was just kind of at that, like where the song when a woman's fed up. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I was. So I was like in a transition phase in all aspects of my life. You know what I'm saying? All areas. So we met up a couple hours later. Went to Cheddar's. She was telling me she worked at the same company I worked at as well. And we had been knowing each other for probably like 10 years at that point. And so we met up for lunch. We were just talking about, you know, my new position. And she was telling me she had just started her entrepreneurial business, which she's doing amazing at. Like, she damn near a millionaire. And I'm so proud. Shout out to Tammy with the T.
Shout out to Tammy with
Y'all
the T.
follow my
Shout
sister.
out to TWT.
Follow
Shout out
my
to TWT.
We met up for lunch. We were just talking. We was like, oh yeah, let's celebrate. You know what I'm saying? She was like, let's go out tonight. I'm like, hey, okay, cool. So boom, and was at the club. You go, baby.
Mine is not as long, but long story short. So my best friend, he had already moved out here to Dallas. Currently lives in Plano area. So I hadn't seen him in a while, so I was like, you know, let me do something different for my birthday. My birthday's March 27th. Shout out to Aries.
Hey.
Shout out to Aries.
Hey.
We coordinated some time for me to make a trip out there, which ironically was my birthday weekend. So it was the week of the 25th, 26th. Mm-hmm. Went out there, kicked it with my homeboy Fred. Shout out to Fred. Shout out to Nikki.
Hey, Nikki
and the kids. Mm-hmm. You know, at the time we were just kind of playing it by ear. You know, we didn't know what we were gonna do. He showed me around town or whatnot and everything. And Nikki, his fiance Nikki, was actually saying, hey, why don't y'all go to Park Avenue?
Really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know she said that. Thank you, Nikki. This whole time, really?
Yeah, Nikki suggested.
Nikki needs to be my best friend. I didn't know Nikki suggested.
Yeah, Nikki suggested Park Avenue. So me and Fred was like, shit, cool. So we went on ahead and
Wow. I'm like really thrown back. I never knew that. I never knew Nikki suggested that. So same thing kind of like with that. Like when me and Tammy was talking about celebrate, like at the time Park Avenue was like the spot. Like out here in Dallas, like Park Avenue, like they happy hour, baby, that's for all corporate America, all entrepreneurs, baby. They knew happy hour. I think it started maybe like 4:35 or something. Baby, they had the best happy hour buffet. Y'all talking about full buffet, ladies free. And I'm not sure how much men cost during the happy hour, but maybe $10 or something like that. But I'm talking about y'all. They had everything. Park Avenue, they used to be called Boomers? Y'all. Whatever it was called. It used to be the spot, but then it turns to Park Avenue. And let me tell you something, they happy hour, no other, like real talk. And and I'm talking about my profession. What?
You ain't let me finish.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking about that happy hour. Okay.
Anyway, so let's rewind back a little bit. So when it came to me and my dating life, my personal life, I was actually at that time, dating. I had some acquaintances with some women in the past, and I thought a couple of them were some potentials. Thank God they were not. Because if not, they wouldn't have met this lovely thing over here.
So during the time that we met, though, like let's say between the month of February and March, like was you dealing with anybody?
No. Probably a few months prior to that.
Like when was the last time you had dealt with somebody?
What was that? I think like November, December.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so at that time, once I decided, like, you know what, I'm about to just not even deal with women right now. I just want to focus on self, self-care for me, make sure I'm happy with myself, make sure that before I bring anybody else into the picture, that I'm secure with my situation. And, I just want to live life and enjoy life and live it to the best of my ability. And, me and Fred coordinated that night to go out to Park Avenue and, I let the wife tell her.
And we're gonna insert a picture here, right?
The picture that she does not.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Like, I mean, I don't like it. She looked amazing in that picture.
I'm sorry, I was kind of intoxicated. Forgive me.
We both was intoxicated.
So it's so funny, but God is so good, y'all. God is so good, and our story, y'all.
And before you continue, don't ever let anybody tell you that you cannot meet your soulmate in the club. I believe that misconception at first myself, but meeting her, it was just a true testament that all that's just thrown out the window.
And piggybacking on what he's saying, like for real, because people will always say, because I'm gonna say I'm gonna say about a good 10 years from 05 to 05,
not 5.
05 for a good 10 years. That was my thing. Me and my homegirls, that was our thing. We clubbed. We went out of town. We clubbed. We in Dallas. We clubbed. That was our thing. You know what I'm saying? And it was always talk like, you ain't gonna find nobody in the club. You ain't gonna find nobody in the club. And this is my, outside of my daughter being born, this is my biggest blessing. You know what I'm saying? So crazy. We go to the club. So we inside the club. I've been in Dallas since I was 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in Dallas a long time. And so I already kind of know, and then the vibe of Park Avenue, especially like during the hours after happy hour ends. So like happy hour end, maybe like 8:30, 9 o'clock or so. And so like those who don't come to happy hour, they start coming in. And so, you have your group of Dallas dudes, your wannabe thugs, drug dealers or whatever in the club, and they all kind of dress the same and things like this. And I think this was like a Friday night. They were kind of strict on the dress code, like no tennis shoes and stuff like that. And even with the Dallas dudes, they still kind of, I don't know. They just all seem to dress alike.
But your boy came in standing out.
So look.
Shout out to them North Carolina boys, you know what I'm saying? Kakalaka boys, shout out to J. Cole. Hey, throwback, shout out to Petey Pablo. Throw your hands up. Take your shirt off. Spin around. Anyway.
So yeah. So we're going around the club, you know, getting our drinks, dancing, just going around. I had seen him in his best friend, and I have a thing for like dudes his skin color, like my skin color. Like I like dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just what I like. So I spotted him, and I immediately noticed that he was like, I'm like, he can't be from here, you know what I'm saying? Because he was dressed different from the guys in the club. So this other young dude had approached me or whatever. We had came to like a stopping point somewhere in the club. And this one dude had approached me, you know, trying to holler at me or whatever. And I'm not sure what I told him. But for whatever reason, he had just kind of stayed by me. Like we had like a small conversation, small talk, nothing major. I had spotted Joseph earlier. You know, we didn't, it's just kind of like, you know, he cute.
Cute.
And then
dogs is cute.
For real, babies is cute. Okay. I hate the word cute. When people say cute, I be like, cute.
Don't get the game
Baby,
twisted.
your shoes is cute. Your puppy is cute. Your baby is cute. Baby, I'm not cute, baby. I'm gorgeous. I'm beautiful, okay? No, I'm just kidding.
You're astounding.
Thank you, baby. But so I came to a stopping point, and I seen Joseph again, right? So then Joseph, like we looked at each other, and then like we looked at each other again, like we caught each other's eyes, you know what I'm saying? And then he like came and approached me. He was just like, he asked, was that my dude or whatever? I'm like, nah, this ain't. So he came and approached me.
She took some stuff out of this story. I'm
That's fine. Hold
I'm
on.
gonna tell y'all mine.
So, you know, he came, asked me, was I with that dude or whatever? I'm like, no. And so I'm not sure what he said in my ear or whatever, but then we end up moving, because we were kind of like in a busy part of the club, and we end up moving to kind of like a more quieter area. Did you tell me you were from North Carolina then? I think you did. And I was kind of like, you lying, you from out of town. So I think at that time when we moved to the more secluded area, he told me, you know, like he was from North Carolina. I was like, boy, you lying. But we was vibing so hard, y'all. Like we had dance, we had, you know, just conversations, you know what I'm saying? And then by the time like the club was ending, so he had walked me to my car, whatever. I had parked, valet. He took me to my Benz, y'all, my little convertible Benz at the time, child. When you see my convertible Benz, you thought I was balling?
I said, shit, I don't know. You kind of intimidated me with this Benz, man. I ain't got it like that. Shit.
And let me tell y'all something.
I ain't know she owned a corporation.
Look, just because somebody got an electric car don't mean nothing, baby. For real. Because people be stunting real hard. And
You right about that.
So anyway, so my Benz pull up. No. Did it pull up? Or did we walk to my Benz?
Well, they pulled it up, but we walked to the car.
Okay. So we go to the car. And I think they asked like what we was about to do, right? And I think we said we was supposed to go home. And I'm not sure if I suggested. No. Somebody suggested that we go eat or something. And so I told Joseph. And we exchanged numbers or whatever. And then after we exchanged numbers, did we go out? We didn't go out to eat that night, did we? We didn't go out to eat. So I called him. I think he called me the next day. And him and his best friend and the best friend's wife, or fiance at the time, was like, they was at this local park here in Dallas that's kind of popular. And he was like, won't you come by or whatever? And I was like, you know, like I'll try, or I'm not sure what I said. But I didn't go to the park, but I ended up picking him up from his best friend's house that, you know, lived about 30, 40 minutes away. So I picked him up, and then we ended up going to Buffalo Wild Wings, y'all. So we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Just kind of talked. I can't remember the conversation. He probably can't, but I can't remember the conversation. And we just clicked, y'all. We just clicked. I paid for the dinner.
She paid.
I paid.
She was showing her brother a little chivalry.
I was, because he's just, the energy, the connection was just amazing. I took him back to his homeboy house. By this time, you know, it's late Saturday night. Mind you, so we went out the next night, Saturday. By this time, we get back to his best friend's house, it's late. He has to catch a flight, I think, in the morning. Was your flight in the morning, Sunday?
I think so, yeah.
So, he catch a flight. I mean, so he got a flight to catch. So we like sat in my car and we like talked, y'all, we talked for a long time, right, babe?
It was a minute.
We talked because by the time he got out the car, he only had a couple hours, so it was time for him to go catch his flight. But y'all, we talked and we vibed. I think we even kissed.
Yeah, she threw herself on me. I was trying to tell her, like, man, look, this is the first date now. You putting a little pressure on your boy, man.
Boy, whatever. So y'all, we talked, and that's literally history. And we never stopped talking, and here we are, over 4 years later.
My rendition is not too off for what she's saying, but there was a couple things in there that really not a couple, probably just one. So, okay. So we get in the spot. We get in Park Avenue. I had my little pink polo with my green logo, my little green slacks, and my little brown hard bottoms. Your boy was looking mighty sharp. So I walked up in there, me and Fred, and I actually, when we walked in, I was just, when I walked in, I was just scoping the scene out. Nice little spot. Looked like a lot of Dallas professionals was up in there.
Really?
I seen a couple people that looked dignified. Now, I'm not gonna say that amongst the whole club, but to my left as I was walking in, I had actually already spotted her, and was like,
"You lying?"
Cause Fred was like, well, I'll get to that, but. So we was just politicking around the club, did our rounds or whatever. And Fred had told me as we was walking that, like, hey man, at first I thought he was just boosting me. Your homeboys boost you every now and then just to help you build your confidence to go talk to somebody. And I was like, man, stop playing, man. You lying. But he was like, nah, man, she checking you out. She is checking you out. So I was like, man, you know what? I ain't gonna trip. So we rounded prior to the club about a couple times. So I think about maybe I don't know if it was the second or third time, like me and her kind of had a very close encounter, like kind of close to the entryway by the dance floor. And y'all, no lie, I tell this every time. Like when I walk by her, you know how you see somebody from your peripheral, you kind of check them, see what they doing. Like I seen her with a reaction like, damn, this nigga fine. So I was like, I wasn't gonna let that get to my head. So I was like, okay. So we kind of we stopped a little close to where they was at. And I had actually noticed the dude that she was referring to earlier, the young dude. I saw him and I was like, in my head, I'm like, is that her dude? And, I didn't want to be disrespectful. And then Fred was like, man, go holler at her, man. She digging you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I ain't trying to disrespect homeboy. You know what I'm saying? So I went on ahead and just said, you know what? I'm gonna gather up some confidence. I already had some liquid courage in me, so I was like, okay, let me go on ahead and try to seize this opportunity, man. See what happens. So I walked up to her, and I asked her. First I asked her, like, is that your dude? Is that your man? And she was like, nah. She ain't say hell no, but she looked at me like, nah, that ain't my dude. So that just solidified everything. So I went on ahead and capitalized from there.
Do you remember what you said?
I just remember asking. I know initially asking if that was your dude, and then from there we just clicked. Like we
I don't know what he said to me, but
yeah, I whispered some sweet nothings in her ear.
I guess, Chad.
But you know, like Daisha was saying, we kind of wanted to get away from the noise and everything, so we kind of transitioned closer. I think we was at the close to the bar in the buffet area where it wasn't as much traffic and people there. So we danced together, man. We chopped it up. We was politicking for a minute, just talking about random stuff. And you know, like she said, I was telling her I'm from North Carolina. I'm from out of town. And when she always seems so surprised about it, like she said, I kind of already felt like in her mind, she subconsciously she already kind of knew I was from out of town because she had already said I stood out amongst the crowd when I walked in, but I guess she didn't want to believe it. But when I told her, she was reluctant at first to give me her phone number. But I think that's nothing but God, man. Like just instilling in her to give me an opportunity to show her how genuine my feelings were for her, and just to see.
I think God, no, I mean, because the feeling, I mean, what you just said, I think God really showed up when we really started communicating. Because like a couple years prior, a really bad experience dealing with somebody with being out of town, and somebody that was out of town only like 3-4 hours away. You know what I'm saying? So when he told me that he was from out of town, I'm not sure if it was when we was in a club or, you know, just later down, you know, the line. I was just like, wait, hold up. Because, and I think it was later down the line because that's when we was really kind of just like, okay. Because I was just like, ooh, I don't know, bro. I've been in a situation where somebody was literally living a double life. A double life as in, you know, they damn near was married, you know. So, yeah. So I was just, I was really reluctant on talking to him, but
yeah, I put that Carolina swag on her, boy. She ain't know what to do. Boy, I had locked that thing in. Clack, clank. Like from there, like when I say I think really out of the 4 years we've been together, I don't think there's been a day. I think we had one day, I think where we had like a disagreement or something. And I think I went almost a day not talking to her. But aside from that, like we literally have not gone a day without talking. Like we did 8 months. 8 months of long distance. And we made that work by basically.
Yeah, we talked. we talked like we probably talked more than a couple that lived in the same city, lived in the same house. Like we talked, you know, we made a point to when we pretty much slept on FaceTime together during. I mean, he had a habit, and when I say he still does that till this, you know, to this day, 4 years later, text me in the morning, you know, good morning, Queen. You know, with my daughter and I, he was like, good morning, Queens. I mean, so he was super consistent. Communication was amazing. And it was like with me telling him just about my past and my bad experiences, relationships or whatever, you know, it's like he made up in his mind, and it may not even have been that it made up in his mind, but overall, Joseph is just like a really solid dude. Like his parents did a really amazing job with him. He's just a super genuine, thoughtful person. You know what I'm saying? Just naturally kind-hearted, you know. And so with him, you know, with our connection and stuff, and him saying like, oh, wow, you know, I think this could be my wife. And me telling him my story, it's like he really wanted to make sure that I was comfortable and that he showed me every single day that, hey, I want you, you know, nobody else. And he made sure to make me comfortable and that I could trust him. And so that was like the end of March. And then I think I went out there. I came to North Carolina next, right? Or did you come back to Dallas first after we met in March?
Yeah, you came to North Carolina.
I think I came to North Carolina. Like, we was going back and forth, like every other month or something like that.
So y'all cannot say, if y'all really want something to work, no matter what, if you really...
We were 1,000 miles apart, away from each other.
Like, listen, it can work. If you really have feelings for somebody, if it's as organic and genuine as you feel it is and you love it, like, make it work. I mean, we literally did FaceTime, texting, talking on the phone. And even if you can't afford a flight at that time, man, just communication is like,
like
vital.
I don't even know the timelines of like us. I don't know when we like we say our anniversary date. We use that as like when we met, because we say March 26th, right? Yeah, because we use that as our anniversary date because
25th was that Friday.
So we use that as our anniversary day because we haven't stopped talking since that day. You know what I'm saying?